Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television, and thank you so much for staying with us. Before we get into our next interview, guess what? We have the photo of the day for you. And this photo was sent in by Kerry Walcott. Kerry Walcott. We do hope that you are able to identify where this photo was taken. Right here in beautiful Tobago. Yes, remember you can leave your comment on our Facebook live stream and our YouTube channel at Tobago Updates. We want to know if you know your island the way we do. And we say thank you so much, Kerry Walcott, for sending in this photo for us this morning. All right, we continue conversations this morning, and we are about to speak with Mr. Tim Teemal, and he is an AI film producer and an AI film tutor. And we're talking about an AI, if you haven't guessed it, an AI film launch. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, morning, morning.
All
Thank you for
right.
having me.
Of course, a pleasure having you here with us this morning to go through this conversation. Now, unless you've been living under a rock, we all know that AI is here, and I believe AI is here to stay. And we have been, engaging with what AI is and the capabilities of AI. And here we're talking about now a film launch, and you being a film tutor, an AI film tutor. So tell us a little bit about the fact that you're an AI film producer and how you got into that industry.
Right. So I have always been in the industry. I'm a screenwriter by profession. I was on the board of directors at the Film TT back in 2014. For a very short time, I was the acting CEO and so forth. So this is my industry, film and television. Um, but what AI has brought to the table is a democratization of filmmaking and an opportunity for everyone, anyone to tell stories that they might have had in their head, they might have been telling to their children, something that might have been, historical, something in the family. So it's a real fascinating opportunity that is now available to anyone and everyone. And my goal is to share that with as many people as possible.
All right. And of course, as many people as possible will like to know because you're telling me that I can tell my stories through film using AI. And of course, I have a lot of stories I'd like to share. So I feel as if learning how to use AI to do that will be very interesting. By no means am I an AI expert, eh? So I'm going to ask you questions that might sound, like trivia to you. How do you engage your ideas, your stories, and hand them over to AI to create and build a film for you?
So it's not about handing them over to AI as such. It's about using think about AI as a tool. So think about what AI, if AI is the brush and the paint, but it still comes down to the individual to quote unquote design or paint a masterpiece. So some of us can tell, pretty good stories, not so good stories, but the AI democratizes. And why this is important, and I say this all the time wherever I go do workshops or lectures and so forth, is that we in this country we do not know what talent is out there until it's exposed. So, for instance, in Tobago, there may be some little boy in Bethel, some little girl in Charlottesville, in Kimballton, um, anywhere up in the country, and who might be the greatest storytellers out there. But how do we harness that talent? How do we expose that? We have to get people interested, firstly, and then, of course, exposed to. And the good thing about it is, this is not something that is, there are no more doors. Everyone, anyone can use AI to tell their stories.
So, Mr. Teemal, good morning again. Um,
Morning.
Film is something that is very creative. It's arts. It is in the arts, and it takes a human touch or human perspective on things. What is the feedback like utilizing AI in the film industry? Anytime you have any major development, you will always have purists who would be against any new developments. What has been the feedback like within the industry concerning AI in film in this capacity?
Right. So Obviously, as you mentioned, there will be people who are uncomfortable with the change. They feel as though their jobs are threatened and so forth. And I have to say, some of those people have valid concerns. A lot of them have valid concerns, because what this does is it, for instance, I sent you guys 4 AI films that that hopefully will be shown on the station over the next couple of weeks. And I did everything. I did the voices, I did the editing, I did the creation of the story, even the background music. So many people, a situation where um, people feel uncomfortable because they feel as though their jobs are threatened, their livelihoods are threatened. And what I say to those people is, yes, they are valid concerns. But what you have to also look at is the other side of the equation, which is this now presents you with an opportunity that you might not have ever had. So there are people who might have been in editing, who would have been acting, and in all kind of other capacities, who might have had stories that they want to tell. And again, I say, perhaps these people end up the greatest storytellers that the world has ever seen. And for that opportunity, I am comfortable with the other part of the equation. And I urge other filmmakers and other creatives to also embrace. It's not something that we can avoid. It's a hurricane that is right on our doorstep. In fact, it's not even coming anymore. It's here because, as I said, um, I made 4 AI films within the last 6 weeks.
So, Mr. Teemal, we just saw some clips of some of the films there that you produced. Can you tell us, you spoke about the democratization of film, and um, I'm also into film, I'm also into acting and that kind of thing. And I know producing a film in the traditional way is very expensive. Could you tell us how much does it cost to produce, let's say, a 15-minute film utilizing AI?
All right. So that's an excellent question and something that I've been, dealing with from the very beginning. It does not cost a lot of money. And the other part of it is it is very quick. So for instance, as you would know, if you had to do a 15-minute film, you're talking minimum 50,000, 100,000. I can guarantee something like that might cost anywhere from 5 to 10,000 according to the complexity and what it is you're trying to do. So that you know cuts out a lot of the problems. And of course, the other part is you as the individual have absolute control of what happens in the film, right? So and that is important because oftentimes the producers, the writers, the people who have the vision have this thing in their head. They want to see it this way. They want to make sure it comes across this way, the acting and so forth. So it gives you an opportunity to be as precise as possible, and not just for filmmakers, because I have a couple of people that I work with, and I remember one saying, they're using it to tell stories to their children at night. And not only is it this, you have the ability to create books and films and so forth, but you have an opportunity to really leave a legacy for your children. So years from now, 10, 20, 50 years from now, as they grow up, they can say, this is what mommy or daddy or my parents did for me. And that, from a parent's perspective, from a teacher's perspective, that creates a whole new dynamic in terms of what we do for children.
Mm. And in terms of the film launch, I know that there's a launch. You said you sent 4 films for us, and we saw, as Akinlabi mentioned there, we saw a clip of it while we were speaking a little bit earlier. When is the actual launch of these films? Are they all launching at the same time? How does that work?
You all have the opportunity to show them. They've been shown on. So I've been highlighted on TTT, on METV. I've done workshops at both places, Scotch as well. I have a class that I teach in Point Fortin. In fact, one of the films that you all have, Deepfake TT, which is a very interesting film about how AI could be used in a very manipulative way. Um, is in collaboration with my team that I worked with, my pilot project that I worked with in Point 14. That is the Point 410 production crew. That's Keisha and Renison and Keon and Anthony, and I can't remember everybody's names right now. Forgive me, but it's a very, very exciting time, because what we've been able to do is take people who, like yourself, who had no awareness of AI and AI filmmaking, save and beyond ChatGPT, and we've been able to have them become film producers, so that forever and forever their legacy, their names, and so forth will be etched as filmmakers. That to me is an incredible opportunity, not just from the perspective of the legacy and your name, but the opportunity that it creates in terms of earning capital, earning money, right? Because remember, as young man on the left, right of you would know, um, films have an opportunity to make money that's not just locally, regionally, and as well as internationally. And I can say that we have recently partnered with WAC TV, WAC Radio, Kenny Phillips. So there's a pipeline. There's a streaming platform that is willing to take these local films, show them to the diaspora, and have people earn money. To me, that's a great, 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 and fantastic opportunity.
Mr. Teemal, I have one final question for you, and it's more of like a technical question
So,
concerning the nuances of actors. You know, actors very often have very slight nuances and gesticulations that they do in films that really brings the story to life. How easy is it plugging in those humanistic um, actions, those humanistic behaviors into the AI programming?
well, it takes some time to understand how to manipulate the AI for best results. But what I tell all my students, and I say all the time, um, I have a friend, Richard Ramirez, who's doing some amazing work when it comes to some of the folklores, and we have a saying: this is the worst. Whatever you're seeing now is the worst it's ever going to be. A year from now, 2 years from now, um, what you will see is the ability to create almost anything in any way possible. And again, it is my advice to people: get on board now, get on board early, because it's not going to stop.
And I feel as if you're talking directly to me because it's time for me to get on board as well. Thank you so much, Mr. Teemal, for joining us this morning and giving us that insight. And I like the clips that we saw here this morning, and I look forward to seeing the films as well. Mr. Teemal is an AI film producer and a tutor, and 4 films will be shown right here on Tobago Updates Television. So you can stay tuned as we launch these films sometime between now and over the weekend. So you want to be a part of what's happening. So you want to happening. Why is my tongue tied this morning? And trust me, the producers behind there laughing at me this morning. I don't know what's happening, but I'm telling you, you want to be a part of the
You're excited
movement of.
about
I'm
AI
telling you,
filmmaking.
I am telling you. And we have to be a part of the movement of AI because we see AI in everything that we're doing,
Yes.
not just in film. We're seeing AI in so many different
Yes.
things, assignments, and all the things that we're doing. And so it's time for people to get on board. And I'm speaking to myself as well. Mr. Teemal, thank you so much, and all the very best in all of your endeavors. And I do hope that all of your students also feel blessed for the opportunity, as you mentioned, to have their names etched as filmmakers. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to go for a short break before we continue conversations in studio this morning. And as we go, we invite you to help us. Share
Share
the
the
live,
live,
share
share
the
the live,
live, share
share
the
the live.
live. We'll be right back.